It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie Yo 219. Day in that neighborhood. My brothers and sisters, it is time to get into another crazy one, y'all. Hope y'all doing excellent out there today, as always. Now, this channel we about to get back into, I think we done watched either 1 or 2 videos from them. They don't put out videos a lot, and this video right here caught my eye. They put it out like 2-3 days ago, so we're gonna get into it. And that channel is Tragedy Tales. Check the title of the video out. The Ultimate Betrayal. Clips captured before horror. Now, they may have some videos in here that we done seen before on other channels. I'm pretty sure they will, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some shit that we ain't never seen before also. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to get into it. But before we get into it, my brothers and sisters, you know what you got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need. We finna get into Tragedy Tales once again. Y'all got what y'all need? Y'all ready to go? Then let's fucking go.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. When you get your phone out and press that record button, you never truly know what you're gonna capture. I'm Ryan from Tragedy Tales, and in this video, yet again, I've scoured the internet and searched high and low for yet more bone-chilling clips that will make you thankful you're alive. So without further ado, here are 5 clips captured before horror.
Get whatever you may need.
This footage begins in Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, on the 2nd of January 2023. It was bright and sunny in Australia that day when a group of tourists boarded a helicopter for a scenic tour of SeaWorld and the Gold Coast. Now, they were eager to catch a glimpse of the majestic marine animals from the air. The helicopter rose up into the sky and the passengers marvelled at the stunning views. They felt the rush of the wind in their hair and the excitement of seeing the beautiful sights from high above. Until approximately 1:58 PM. This video was recorded and it shows the tourists enjoying their helicopter ride when all of a sudden the pilot stops looking forward. One of the tourists taps the pilot on the shoulder, but by then it's too late. Just a second later, the helicopter in the video collided with another helicopter also taking off for a tour from SeaWorld.
Oh shit.
The departing helicopter's main rotor blades and gearbox separated, causing the helicopter to lose control and crash into the sandbar. Luckily, the people in the footage just about survived. Their helicopter pilot stabilized the craft before performing an emergency landing on the same sandbar, heavily damaging it. Many members of the public watched in utter shock as the whole thing unfolded in front of them, with beachgoers, boaters, and nearby police attending the scene to provide first aid and free injured passengers from the helicopter. A day out soon turned into a nightmare as nurses on the beach stepped in to provide CPR. Some sustained severe injuries. By the end of the day, 4 people had lost their lives. A 40-year-old pilot, a 36-year-old woman, and a British couple aged 65 and 57. Another 6 received serious injuries and were rushed to hospital. While they can't be sure exactly what caused the crash yet, they did find that the pilot that was currently in the air did not recall that the helicopter on the ground made a standard taxiing call prior to taking off. However, this doesn't rule out that he didn't make the call, just that it wasn't received.
Man, bro, I ain't gonna lie. Me personally, I don't think I'm ever getting in a helicopter. I get in an airplane. I never been in an airplane either, but I feel like I get in an airplane before a helicopter, and that's mainly due to what happened to Kobe Bean. It was really like that shit right there just traumatized me to the point where nope, I ain't never getting no helicopter. But as far as that goes, sad that 4 people lost their lives, but it's good that some of them survived. Cause if they would have hit in a certain angle or velocity or whatever, everybody could have died. You looked at them pictures; that was pretty fucking graphic. Like seeing both of them helicopters tow up like that. Rest in peace of them 4 people, man. And I'm just saying, man, if you don't want to fly, don't fly. Don't let nobody make you fly. Let's go. Number 4.
Now this footage begins in June of 2018 in Turkey. It was a beautiful sunny day when a 40-year-old man named Hakan Aysal decided to take a hike with his 32-year-old wife, Semra, along the Butterfly Valley in Mulga, Turkey. The pair were on holiday in Turkey, and while Semra was 7 months pregnant, they were excited to capture the stunning views and take some selfies to document their day. As they were climbing up, several members of the public noticed that they were acting strange. A passerby got out their camera to record, suspecting that one of them would fall off the cliff. Captured on video, you can see as they walked hand in hand, marveling at the Mediterranean. They linked.
Bro, what the fuck? If that ain't dangerous, I don't know what is. Ain't no way in the hell I'm gonna be walking that close to where I can potentially fall off and die. Why are y'all walking down there, man? Go back where you're safe at. What the fuck?
Here until Aysal suddenly stopped and motioned for Semra to come over to a particularly picturesque spot. Semra, who was heavily pregnant and scared of heights, was hesitant at first, but Aysal insisted that they take the selfie together, taking this very selfie on the cliff's edge. Suspiciously, they sat on top of this cliff for 3 hours until the person recording finally gave up and moved on. However, as soon as they were alone, Aysal is accused of pushing Semra off the cliff, sending her tumbling 1,000 feet to her death. When a man passed by, Aysal exclaimed that his wife had just fallen off the cliff. As people frantically started looking for her, Aysal did not attempt to assist, appearing vacant and unperturbed by the whole ordeal. Even when the family went to collect her body, Aysal remained in the car and showed no emotions. Soon after Semra's death, Aysal cashed out the £40,000 life insurance policy that he'd taken out prior to going on holiday. However, the payout was stopped when it was revealed that the police had started their investigation. Her family were also shocked to discover that Aysal had taken out numerous loans in his wife's name. By looking at the evidence, it looked like he had planned this all along. He had lured innocent Semra to this remote spot to kill her and her unborn child.
Hell yeah, he did. Now it makes sense why they was walking down there that close to the edge. And she just, you know what I'm saying, that's her baby daddy. She pregnant, man. Dude, that's your child too. You gonna kill your baby mama and your damn child, bro? All for some damn life insurance money. It just made sense. You know what I'm saying? That he already had took all these loans in her name. I hope his ass get the death penalty. And if not the death penalty, at least life in prison. Y'all know how I feel about fucking murderers, man. Just get them off the streets, one way or the other. That's bullshit. I got mad when I heard that shit, motherfucker. Let's go.
Luckily, this worrying footage was captured and reported to the police. Despite pleading his innocence, Aysal was soon arrested and sentenced to life in prison, with a minimum sentence of 30 years.
Number 3.
This tragic footage takes place on February the 28th, 2023, in the southern area of Tempe Valley of Greece. At 7:22, passenger train Intercity 62 departed from Athens to Thessaloniki. Throughout this journey, the train lines were doubled, each for one traffic flow, in and out. At approximately 9 minutes past 11, Intercity 62 left Larissa station, carrying 340 passengers and 12 staff, a total of 352. As the train departed from Larissa, the station master, for an unknown reason, became confused. He did not use the 188A key to restore the train to the correct track. For 25 kilometers and almost 12 minutes, the passenger train Intercity 62 continued on a downhill trajectory, heading right towards a freight train, also travelling on that same downhill track. Until approximately 11:21, with both trains travelling at more than 100 miles an hour, the two collided, all captured on this night CCTV.
Ooh, shit.
As they collided, the first 4 passenger cars derailed, and the first exploded into an intense ball of flame, reaching a scorching 1300 degrees Celsius. After numerous 112 calls were made, emergency services rushed to the scene to find pure devastation. Numerous train cars were crumpled beyond recognition, and to make it worse, many of the train carts caught fire soon after the collision. Firefighters and first responders worked around the clock to save as many lives as possible. Passengers who managed to escape the train or were ejected through carriage windows spoke of the chaos and the panic. One victim described the ordeal, saying that she had to make a split-second decision on either being burned alive or jumping and breaking all of my bones.
Shit.
This turned out to be the deadliest rail disaster in Greek history. 57 people lost their lives, with the majority of the dead being just students. 66 injured people were taken to hospital, while 6 were put on life support. The following day, the Greek government declared a 3-day period of mourning, during which all flags were flown at half-mast and celebratory events were postponed. An investigation as to how this happened was soon conducted, and they questioned the 59-year-old station master who was working that day. It was revealed that the station master knowingly directed the IC62 passenger on the wrong track and told them to ignore signals that indicate danger. It was found that the station master made numerous fatal mistakes, and he was the main cause behind this entire tragedy. He was arrested and now faces multiple charges of disrupting transport and putting lives at risk. In the aftermath of the disaster, Transport Minister Kostas stepped down from his position, taking responsibility for the crash and admitting his inability to modernise the Greek railway system to the 21st century.
I don't know if that dude, he probably stepped down more than anything because he just felt bad. He felt like it was his fault in a way, but I don't even think that's your fault, bro. He just said about how he had upgraded the tracks to the 21st century, whatever. At the end of the day, that shit is on that dude who didn't change that track. And I really believe that he a mass murderer. I believe he did that shit on purpose, man. And then said what he said, something about ignore all the warning signals and shit. He knew what the fuck he was doing. He basically like somebody who go up in a school or up in a grocery store or whatever and just start shooting everybody. That's basically what he is, a mass murderer. I done got mad as fuck on this video. Let's go to number 2.
In July of 2022, a 27-year-old man from the Isle of Wight named Harry Shimin had the epic idea to go on a guided tour around the Kazakhstan mountains with 2 of his friends. And after a bit of discussion, they thought, why not? And embarked on the adventure. At first, it was all going well. They met up with 7 other members at Kazakhstan and trekked their way up the mountains. As they did, they marvelled at the picturesque scenery. On day 7 out of 10, the day started like any other day. It was the final hard stretch of the journey before turning back. That day, they hiked 1,000 meters to the highest point that they could. Surrounded by the mountains, Harry was way in front, taking it all in, when all of a sudden, he heard a loud, reverberating sound echo in the distance. He and his team knew exactly what this was. As the avalanche raced down the mountain, Harry stands and records as it gets closer and closer and closer, believing that it would peter out way before it would reach him.
And shit, you think that bitch ain't gonna dissolve or whatever he just said, peter out before it reach you? No, bro, that shit coming dead towards you, and you gonna wait till it's too late to try to get away. That shit traveling fast, faster than it look.
However, it soon becomes clear that it isn't going to stop. As Harry had just climbed the 1,000 metre to the goal, behind him was a large cliff face. There was nowhere to run. The last words that could be heard were, "Dear God."
Oh dear God.
The avalanche soon impacts with Harry and his group, and as the massive wall of snow tumbles over them, they realise that the majority of the landslide had already hit. So the force and the amount of snow was heavily lessened, saving Harry and his group. Amazingly, none of the party were injured, other than one woman who managed to cut her knee down to the bone.
Damn.
After recovering from shock, they promptly made their way back down the mountain, thankful to be alive. That day, Harry stood in the face of death and lived to tell the tale. Not something that many of us can say that we've done.
I know, right? That one right there, man. I'm just glad they end up surviving that shit. Because, like I said, man, you look at that damn avalanche, or I done seen some video. Know y'all probably have too, of like when lava look like it is so far away. Before you know it, that shit be right up on you. Rocks, you see them bitches falling from far away. Before you know it, that shit be right up on you, about to knock your ass out and kill you. For real, man. They was lucky enough that the avalanche had calmed down a little enough by the time it reached them. But I guess it's just when they time to go. Let's go to number one.
This crazy footage begins in Nepal on the 15th of February 2023. At 10:33 AM, Yeti Airlines Flight 691 left for its scheduled flight from Kathmandu to Pokhara in Nepal. It was around a 25-minute journey. Now, Flight 691 was a 15-year-old twin-engine turboprop ATR 72-500. That day, the plane was under command of Senior Captain Kamal KC with Anju Katiwada as co-pilot. They had 21,900 and 6,396 flight hours, respectively. That day, the weather was clear and perfect for flying. Now, the flight was going well, as smooth as you'd expect, until they came into land at the newly built airport in Pokhara. As Flight 691 came into land, something wasn't right. The landing gear opened, but at 311 feet, air traffic control noticed that the aircraft nose was noticeably high. All of a sudden, the engines dropped to zero thrust and the left wing dropped. Within just a second, the plane crashed into the ground. A video filmed from the ground showed the aircraft banking steeply to the left before crashing 65 meters away. This was also all captured from within the aircraft. Now, I will warn you, this footage is not for the faint of heart. A video that was streamed live on Facebook by one of the passengers named Sonu Jasiwal was able to capture moments just before it went down. Now, I don't think I can show all of this footage, but the plane soon takes a nosedive. It then explodes into a ball of flames. It crash landed straight into a gorge on the bank of the Seti Gandaki River. When rescue got there, it was dire. The plane was engulfed in flames with one half of the fuselage in the gorge. They quickly realised that there were no survivors.
Damn.
72 people had died. A true tragedy. An investigation into the crash revealed that less than 2 minutes before the crash, Captain Kahadiwada called for the plane's flaps to be extended, saying flaps 30. However, the flight data recorder at that moment did not record any flap movement. Instead of the flaps opening, the propeller rotation speed of both engines slowly decreased and the torque began dropping to zero, suggesting that one of the pilots may have accidentally moved the power lever instead of the lever controlling the flaps. This caused both engines to feather, meaning that there was no thrust in each of them. To make it worse, it was also found that the pilots failed to follow routine checklists. Just 14 seconds before the crash, Kadiwada handed over control to the much more experienced pilot, Kamal, but by then, it was too late. Some people believe that the root cause was the fact that the pilots had not gotten used to coming in at that angle because it was a new airport, but this we can never be sure. This turned out to be the deadliest aviation accident in Nepalese domestic history. May all of the victims in this crash and this video rest in peace.
Damn, man. That was just fucked up, y'all. It was no survivors. Everybody on that plane, man. Then, if you notice, with the dude who was recording on the plane, I don't think him, or then he showed like people who was in front of them, it didn't look like it was no panic going on. I don't think at that point they knew that a couple of seconds later, or minutes, or however, they would be deceased. They would be gone. You know what I'm saying? They would die. I don't think they knew at that point. That shit just crazy, man. Then you gotta have theories of how and why this malfunction may have happened. Somebody pulled the wrong lever and all that. And it's just so sad because you will never freaking know. Now, I know I said earlier I ain't getting on no helicopter. I might get on a plane, but then I watch shit like that. Then I'm like, fuck that. I ain't get on no plane either. I ain't get on no train. I ain't even getting in a damn car no more. I'm like, I ain't trying to be funny, man. But y'all get what I'm saying, bro. Shit like this just make you say, nope, fuck it. I just stay on the ground. I just keep my feet planted on the ground. I ain't going up in the sky. But another thing, like I was saying, is you got to come up with these damn theories trying to wonder how this accident happened or whatever. But sometimes, just sometimes, y'all, I feel like some of this shit may not be no accident. Sometimes I feel like whoever controlling the damn plane just decided that they wanted to commit suicide. And while they committed suicide, they wanted a whole bunch of other people to go with them. I know that has happened. I know in history that has been the case. And it's just fucked up because you'll never know, especially if the pilot died with the victims. You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying it happened a lot, but it's a possibility that their agenda was to crash that plane. I don't know, man. Just something to think about, y'all. This video had me sad, and it had me mad as fuck with the damn train murder and the dude pushed his wife off the shit. I was mad as fuck at that. Glad the people with the snow, they survived. And then it got sad as fuck again with the damn what we just watched, the airplane, man. Got right back sad, bro. Especially all 72. Woo. I agree with my brothers and sisters, man. Glad y'all came back and fuck with me once again. You know I will be back tomorrow too. And I ain't got nothing else to say, man. I just want y'all to hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that. And I hope y'all come back tomorrow too. But until I see y'all again, my brothers and sisters, you know I got to say this. Love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.